welcome back to another week of Techy Tuesday. This month we have been going over all things Canva. Last week I talked about how to actually create the account, how to navigate this home screen, and the difference in their pricing plans. So take a look at that video first and then come back to this one. And what we are going to talk about this week is how to actually work some of the editing features in here, just kind of the most basic editing. Next week we'll dive a little bit more into more of elaborate editing, but I just want to show you some of the basic functions when you're going in and doing one of these templates. So from your home screen here in Canva, you're going to see two places where you can search for designs. You can either create a design up here, which lets you create it from scratch, or you can search right here, which lets you look through Canva's templates. You can also try to search through previous projects that you have already made if you wanted to, but in this case, we're just starting with a completely new template. So we're gonna search for open house flyers, and this takes us to our search results. Once we're here, we can start scrolling down and just find the one that speaks to us the most, the one that we're gonna have to do the least amount of editing to make it perfect. Now remember, this is fully customizable, so maybe I love this black one right here, but I want it to be red instead of black. Then I can change those color options around when I'm actually inside editing. So find the one that's gonna need the least amount of work and use that one. If you're scrolling through and you see a little gold crown in the corner of any of these, that's going to mean this is free if you have upgraded to the Canva Pro, which is the paid version of Canva. If you're using the free version of Canva, you can only use templates that don't have that gold crown. Now, if you are using the free version, but you really fall in love with a template, these pro templates can be purchased on one-offs. So if I just wanted to pay for that open house flyer, I could pay for just that item. And then if I wanted to do a just listed flyer down the line 6 months from now, I could make one and pay for one later on. So you can invest in either the pro account, or you can kind of do these little purchases here and there as you need them. I do suggest the pro account because of the fact that those little charges do end up adding up if you end up using Canva a whole bunch. So take a look at that and see if it fits your needs. But once you go through and you find one that you want, you're just going to click on it to be able to use it. Now, there are a bunch of templates, so if you are wanting to filter through and find something that matches your brand aesthetic a little bit more, you can do that as well. But I'm just going to go and choose one of these that I think is cute. Let's do this one. Now, if you click on it, you're then going to have to click on Customize this template to actually get into the editor. Once we're in the editor, some basic features about editing in general. If I were to click on something here on the flyer and I want to change the size of it, maybe I want to make this house a little bit bigger, then I can click on it and you're going to see 4 dots in each corner. These dots are going to let you make this photo larger or smaller by clicking and dragging those to whatever size it is that you need. So maybe I want my house that big, and then you're gonna see here that it's got this little plus. That is how you're gonna move this picture around. You can click on that plus directly or just on the picture, and if you click there, up and down or side to side, you can drag this photo wherever you need. Now you're gonna see the purple lines that are showing up as I drag it around. That's gonna help me center different items over where I want them centered. So this right here, that purple dotted line is going straight through the middle of my little house logo. So that right now is telling me that that house logo is in the very middle of that page. If I roll it over a little further, you'll show my center line is going over where it is being lined up with. So I can line it up with the end of the E, I can line it up with the N or the H, and you can kind of drag that wherever you need it. So those are just guidelines. Same thing with the purple outside line. That is just a guideline to show me what's going on and where everything is sitting. So once we have moved that where we want it, same thing with the text here. You can click on the text and you're gonna get those 4 dots where you can drag and make them bigger or smaller. When you're clicking on text, you're gonna have this line at the top. This line at the top is gonna be how you can actually edit this text. So this right here in the left corner is gonna be the actual font style. So you can change that around to match your style. The next thing over is gonna be increasing or decreasing the font size. Next one over is going to be changing the font color. Now they do pull photo colors from the actual template you have. So if you wanted the words to match the rest of the template coloring, you can use the photo colors, or I can come in here and grab any color that I want to. We can also add colors, and if you do have the hex code for a color, you can put that direct hex code in there and get the exact color you're looking for. Then we have our normal bolding, underline, italicizing, our alignment over whether we want it on the left, right, or center alignment, if you need to add bullet points. Now effects, animate, what that'll do is change some of the stuff going on. Effects is just going to apply kind of like a filter to my words. So you can see here now I've got this bold outline on them. So I can change whatever I want to there. Animate, this would be if I was actually gonna run this as maybe a small GIF or small video. In this case, we're not gonna animate, but it's just bouncing the words in and out of the screen different ways. This is mainly if you're making like a PowerPoint presentation. On a print flyer, you won't need to worry about it. And then I can drag that open house, make it fit where I want it to go. And then position. This is gonna let me decide if I want things on the top layer or bottom layer. Say I want to move this open house wording and I want it to actually be on top of my picture. So now I've got that open house wording and it's on top of my picture. But maybe instead of this black box here being on top of the photo, I want the black box to be behind the photo, but I still want the words there. So I'm going to click on that little black arrow and then I'm going to click on position. Then I have the option to send forward or backward or to the front or to the back. So if I send it backwards, you're gonna see it's now gonna go behind the photo. If I bring it forward, it's gonna go back in front of the photo. So that's how you can layer items to really make your flyers dynamic there. And then if you are wanting to change any of the actual text that is in any of these text boxes, you will double click and that's gonna allow you to change the text. So I could say listed by, or whatever there that I need to put to get my point across. Now we're gonna see too here under 123 Anywhere Street, how that wording is stacked into two different layers there. If I click on it, say I want my address to all be on one line. I don't want it stacked like this. You're gonna see these two white lines on either side of that text box. If you take that white line, click on it, and drag to the left or right, you're going to be able to increase the size of this text box. So you're going to see now, as I bring this back this time, it's going to drag that any city street into one line. If I wanted it stacked again, I can just drag it smaller, and I can stack it however I need it to be. So the four corners will let you increase, decrease. This one here on the left or right side is going to let you spread the text box out so you can fit it where you need it to go. We also have transparency. Say I wanted this black box here, but I just want it to be slightly see-through so I can still see part of the house behind it. This little gradient, if you hover over it, it's called transparency. When you click on your transparency, we can take that from 100 down, and now you can see we're starting to be able to see through that arrow until it's fully disappeared. So you can make things as transparent as you need to cover whatever it is you're trying to do there. Now, if we're wanting to change out the photo that is on here, they do have some stock images in here. If you go under elements, you can search the elements and look for something specific. If I just wanted a home, I can search home and see if I can find a picture I wanted to use. So they do have different little graphics and lines and shapes and different things you can add to customize this. We'll get into this a little bit more next week on some of the more advanced stuff you can do. This is just our basic editing for now. So if we did need to switch out this photo with a stock image, we can search home and we've got photos here. When we do see all, it's gonna pull up all of them. Now remember, the little crown means that this is a pro, so you would be paying for use of this photo. If you do one without the crown, it is free for you to use. Now you have the option to click on that photo, drag it, and drop it over the photo you already have in your thing, and now it is replaced with the photo. So you can do it that way. You can also replace entire backgrounds. If you go into kind of the edge of the flyer itself, you can make that photo the entire background, or you can just drag it over where you need it and swap it out there. Now, if you were using your own photos, say you had photos uploaded into the MLS, and those are the ones that you're gonna wanna use. So you're gonna go into this left side here, and you're gonna go to Uploads. From Uploads, we're gonna say Upload File. And then this is where you can go into your computer and find whichever file it is you're needing to upload. So maybe I need this Canyon Lake logo. If I stick that in, now I have access to use that Canyon Lake photo. If I just click on it once, it is going to just put it in the center of the flyer, and then I'm going to have to rearrange where I want it. If I go ahead and drag it over something, that's when it's going to replace the entire image. So just clicking on it once is just going to add it to the flyer, and then you'll rearrange where you want it to go. On this left side too, past elements, again, those are your graphics that you're adding in. Uploads is going to be photos you're uploading yourself. Text, this is if you need to add any other types of text to here. They do have different kind of clip art styles, or you can just add in what you're already using and change the font, and you can again drag this wherever you need it, double click to change what it says, and add in anything else that you need. So that is going to be just some of the basic editing options that are in here in order to just navigate anything that you're trying to edit in Canva. Next week, we'll go a little bit further. We'll take this open house flyer and we'll actually make it a little pretty. I'll show you how you can add the different elements and the different features that we can set into here. And we'll keep looking at this a little bit more. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week.